Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you find yourselves in this dark world of ours. Another session of Gotham by Night is happening. This scene takes place 1 hour after the intro scene and the little incident that happened in front of the old Gotham Library. Our scene takes us to a rooftop where it is now pouring rain. Most people go inside or activate their umbrellas or perhaps get into a car or call auto taxis. But one individual in particular is not bothered by it. We go to him now up on the rooftop. Sigma, describe to us what your character is doing.
Greetings, I am Iron, and I play as a Promethean from the second edition of the game. I am an unfleshed, basically an AI that obtained Hazard and is on its own path to become a human. And oh boy, Sigma has a really long story to tell.
Either way, most of the players will not know the backstory, but however, you can declare what your character is doing at the moment. Currently, you're up on a rooftop just contemplating because your AI programming kind of short circuited there, almost like a pulse had happened, and you find yourself standing upon a rooftop. What do you do?
First directive, assessment of location. Second directive, diagnostic of inner processors and inner directives. Third directive, rectify course of action. And as soon as Sigma does his own little computer AI analysis, he will start seeing the rain, the streets, and the people that activates their umbrellas or run away from the rain. He's not bothered by it. He was created sturdy enough not to be bothered by such trivial condition. But something in his program, something within his mind is nagging to him, suggesting that perhaps it would be best to get off the rain and be among the humans. But he can't be among them all the time. What will they do to him?
You notice that there is a fire escape nearby the rooftop that you can easily use to get down to the ground street level.
Oh, yes, without problem, Sigma will try to be a show off, doing acrobatics as he goes down. You need
Roll
to keep
me,
up.
roll me strength athletics.
Right. So, strength 3 plus my uh, bestowment of my vitality. I add my astros to my strength, so 4 plus athletics 2. 6 dice to roll. Okay.
You can roll it in the dice channel. One hit. So you almost lose your footing and slip, but you manage to catch yourself, and yeah, you do the fancy acrobatics Batman kind of flip down, and you're able to get down to the ground level.
Terrific. Alright, so, well, Sigma on the ground level. His directive will be returned to the tower. It was abandoned. It was his place where he lives, and
Mhm.
he has become the protector.
You
Unwillingly, but he has become the protector.
you make your way to the old ruined city of Gotham. It's a downtrodden place for the homeless, the poor, and the low society alike. But to you, it does not bother you one bit. A lot of the slums of the cities are left in the ruins of the old world, and there are still plenty of functioning buildings. Your particular place is one of not lavishing lifestyle, but indeed one of safety, tucked away, hidden amongst the old ruins. You walk by an old building that you walk by every day. It always strikes you as interesting because it's a kind of torn, rundown building, but it's still intact. Not many have taken up residency there. Actually, none of your fellow residents have taken up any residency in this building at all. People are too afraid to set up there, although it's abandoned. Nonetheless, you always enjoy looking at the sign that's kind of hanging and on the sideways because the sign was tilted a bit. It seems to have been lost to the age, but the sign still is there. You just tilt your head a bit and you can read it as if though it was straight, even though it's tilted a bit. And it says Midnight Eye Detective Agency. You continue to walk on past it, looking at the sign, giving you a little bit of calm demeanor. And you walk back to your place. It's not much, but it's home.
Well, the Silver Peak Tower. It wasn't exactly on my first sight. Sigma was simply looking for a place to stay for him and the one he protected. Unfortunately, said place was in the hands of a few gangs, but Sigma being Sigma
They proved to be
blew
no
them away,
match.
and those that refused to leave were handled. Of course, no death
You
was dealt because his programmation told him otherwise, but he recently is starting to learn that he doesn't have to always obey programmation.
mhm. You proceed on into your place, and you notice that there is indeed a kind of guy snooping around. Um, he is he appears to be kind of going through your stuff. Kind of looks up at you, Sigma, and he says, "Oh, hey, I hope you don't mind, but I'm taking some of this."
What exactly is he taking from me?
He's taking what looks to be one of your memento, and he's taking one of your touchstones.
Alright. Now, Sigma is extremely unexpressive. I mean, when he goes out as a combat faceplate that hides his robotic lineage, he will simply walk to him, being a lot bigger than a normal human, and statement, please return the object.
He kind of looks you over like he looks at your size, but then he kind of regains his composure. He says, "No,
This is the second warning. Please return the object, or consequences.
what is your defense?"
Eh, just a second.
Actually, never mind. I've got your defense right here.
For
Yep. So this guy's just going to roll 1d10. He tries to take a swing at you. He appears to be a gang member.
hmm. Well,
But you're able to avoid him.
hmm. Well, there is only one thing left to do. He has attacked Sigma, and Sigma will answer. So he will give him a good meeting with his knuckles. So do I roll brawl plus strength?
It will be Dex plus Brawl.
All right.
Dex plus Brawl minus his defense. His defense is 2. So what is your total Dex plus Brawl in terms of dice?
5.
Right, so you will roll 3 dice. Okay, you get a hit. What is your strength?
4.
Whew, ouch. So he tries to swing at you, and he misses. And what are you going to do in return? You do 4 bashing damage to him. How do you respond?
Well, Sigma doesn't want a useless amount of violence. So, oh, wait. I think I make a little more damage because I took a merit killer instinct, which
Right,
reduces the defense. I have 2 dots, so it reduces his defense of 2.
right. So he actually wouldn't have gotten a defense. So roll me 2 extra dice, please. We'll see if you do some more damage here. So roll 2d10. Okay, so no hits. Still 4. So go ahead and say what you're doing, because you're able to do 4 bashing damage to him.
As the tank takes a swing at Sigma, servo motors simply kicks in, dodges, and then hits for the solar plexus, leaving
So
the poor bastard on the ground.
so you smash him in the solar plexus, and he falls to one knee, and he's like, "Ugh," and then he throws up.
Then, nonchalantly, Sigma will take back his things, put them back, and take the gentleman to the lobby and instruct whoever is in the lobby, do not let him return.
You see a couple of the others kind of a little bit scared, but they're like, "All right," and then they grab him, and he's not that hard to really restrain, and they kind of lead him to the hole, kind of to the old streets, and they just toss him.
All right. Well, now I think just a quick question. When I was on the roof, I saw all the commotion from the library.
You definitely saw a lot of cop cars and ambulances come back from the library, but you appeared to have been unconscious or something when that was happening, because
Mm.
when that event started, you felt yourself kind of go out, and then when you awoke, you saw the cop cars and ambulances kind of coming away and people kind of starting to migrate away. But you did not know what precisely happened there. But there were a lot of cop cars and a few ambulances that came from that direction.
Well, I think that I have to bring myself up to speed. So, off to the internet and also the secret information.
Sure thing. You look up on the computer a little bit of events, and on the front news page of Gotham website, uh, you do see a headline. This just in. Local Ghostface gang decided to try and rob Wayne Industries of their newest flux converter. Of course, they were quelled by what appears to be the vigilante known as the Batman. After the criminals were detained and arrested, it seems that everything was all well and good. Although the vigilante Batman is still wanted by the police, some of his work appears to be being appreciated as a small memorial is going up for Batman in front of a children's hospital. Nonetheless, the vigilante Batman is still at large and a reward is still offered. In lighter news, no one was killed. However, the mayor's assistant was indeed shot, and you see her picture kind of up. A Miss Catherine Morgan was injured during the firefight. However, she is fine and recovering as we speak. No further comments have been given by the police or any other witnesses at this time.
This is troubling. Sigma is troubled by this information. If the gangs try to assault his place, he will not be able to uphold these directives. He requires allies to protect what he calls a base of operation. He should probably look for someone trustworthy. And
It's at
we
that point,
hope.
Sigma. It's at that point, Sigma. You see an email pop up on your screen.
Oh, from whom? I'm not going to open it yet. I'm going to use my computer ability to try and see if it hides some sort of malware or virus.
Sure thing. Go ahead and roll intelligence computers.
I have a specialization advanced programming. Do I had it?
What we're going to do in this one, since I don't want a lot of people to just like fall down, when you're specialized, we're going to do tens explode, and it adds the extra dice.
You can mute when you type, damn it.
Okay,
Sorry.
so 110, 17, and I have to roll another d10, correct?
No. We just do it. I don't want the dice roller bogged down, so when you get a 10 and you're specialized, it just adds an extra hit.
Okay, so 3 successes.
Two successes, because it's 8, 9s, and 10s.
Oh, right, 7 is from
Yeah.
the other. Okay.
So you got 2 hits, but that's enough. Um, this letter appears to have no virus or malware. There is nothing mischievous about it.
All right, let's see what it does says.
Ironically, it's from Catherine Morgan herself, the woman you just saw in the newsreel who supposedly got shot.
This is troubling. This is extremely troubling for Sigma. He cannot comprehend how this is happening, but he is interested nonetheless.
The letter says, Mr. Sigma, as I understand, you are a man of many talents, and I, at this point, am a woman who is in need of people with talents. If you want work or a job to help with your little predicament that I know you're in, little wink emoji, then come to my office, and she gives an address and whatnot, this time tomorrow night, and I will offer you a job, and I think it will be one you most certainly will want to consider. Until then, have a good one. And then you see a little emoji at the end of the email, and it's like this little vampire bat emoji.
Mm. Sigma doesn't have enough information to make a decision, so protocol dictates that he has to learn more about this woman, the position, the access to the resources she has, and also whatever information she has. So he will initiate a new protocol of interview with the bat. And number one is going to create a little malware hidden inside the email to reply to the also sweet mayor assistant, explaining that he will most surely give a service to the assistant of the first citizen of Gotham, because in these dark times, Gothamian citizens have to stick together.
Indeed. Okay. We will go ahead and move to another scene now. and the camera will pan. William,
Yes.
you are walking down the street getting ready to head to a club that you tend to visit somewhat often.
Mm-hmm.
And you see a lot of siren and police cars and ambulances drive by you.
Mm,
There's a lot of them with their sirens going.
I'll follow them just to see what's happening.
You kind of look around. It looks like you got to the tail end of everything, but it looks like there was something that happened at the museum. It seems to have been something because there was a lot of police tape and there's still a bunch of people kind of looking around, officers kind of checking stuff out. You can see some what looked to be a street gang, and since you're a local, you know what the street gang is. They appear to be members of the Ghost Faces, and they are hanging by streetlights by some sort of odd black cables. Like they're hanging upside down, like, from their feet. And the officers are trying to get them down.
I'll go. Are there like a crowd or something of people?
No, but there's officers, kind of looking out, and there's police tape and all that.
Oh, okay. I'll ask the guard or cop. I mean, that's guarding like the police tape or something, like crowd control. I'll ask him what happened.
Oh, just some more vigilante work by the Batman. Nothing to see here.
What did they do?
Oh, apparently they tried to steal Gotham's new inhibitor there. The thing that they just announced it tonight. Apparently it's going to give power to Gotham at the cost of only a glass of water.
Why would they want to steal something? Oh, well.
Think about it. Think about that kind of power in your hands. Oh my God, you could power anything you wanted to. And all it costs is a glass of water. Or they probably just maybe wanted to steal it and sell it to maybe those warring factions outside the city.
I'm going to out of curiosity, I'm going to try to turn on my senses, just to smell if there's anything off about anything.
Yeah. When you start to smell, it kind of starts small at first, but you can smell rot. You can also smell. You can also smell something else that tingles your nose. You don't know what it is though.
Well, I'm just gonna, I guess, try to investigate what the hell that thing is.
There's a lot of high up security now, kind of getting the arc reactor, if you will, kind of out of the way. But that's basically what it looks like. It looks like a giant arc reactor.
That's
And
the thing
that they tried to supposedly steal. You can see him taking it away and put. And one guy in particular kind of stands out to you. You see a man in kind of this old-fashioned detective uniform, an old top hat, well, not top hat, but like a brooch hat, and kind of looking out over everything. And he kind of looks at you. He smells off. He kind of smells. Well, he doesn't smell like dog, but he smells like something. You can't quite put your nose on it. However, after smelling him for a certain amount of time, you know that this is clearly another hunter. Like, not hunter as in like hunters, but like it's another predator. You are a predator yourself. And you know what it means to be in the presence of another predator. And this man is clearly a predator.
I'm going to remember his scent.
Okay. You do so.
Since this has piqued my curiosity, I'm just going to watch him and from afar and like try to follow him and to see what he's doing without being really suspicious.
He doesn't leave. He's sitting there watching the scene as it unfolds. He's sitting there watching him pack up the device and whatever.
I'll just wait out, I guess.
So you wait. He eventually gets into a car, and it's going to be pretty hard to follow him unless you want to make a display.
hmm Is my bike with me?
I'll say that you were walking to the club, so no, you don't have your bike with
Okay.
you at the moment.
Yeah. I'll guess I'll go back to my
I mean, if you want to follow him, there's a way you can follow him, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that because I'm in the city. Yeah.
All right, so
I'll
you go
ask
to.
I guess I can
Okay.
ask the cop like just the identification of that guy because I tell him that I think I know something that might help him. Like I'll lie.
Okay. Oh, okay. So the cop, you come up to the cop,
hmm
and he says, "Who?
That that guy. If
What
I'll
guy?
point at the,
What guy? What guy?
the man packing the device.
Hey, is this some kind of joke?
Huh.
What guy?
You know what?
There's look,
I think
sir,
I'm just
sir. There's no one here. I
ah.
don't know who you're talking about.
I think
Just
I'm
me and
just
my boys.
imagining things. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
you, you hear the cop mumble, "Fucking druggie."
I'm sorry for your time. I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah. Go about your business.
I'm going to try and track him now because since I got his scent and
Mhm.
yeah.
You track him down to another building, not too far from where you were. The car
Mm-hmm.
pulls up in front of a building, and the building says Wayne Enterprises. It looks like an office building, a big, massive kind of skyscraper.
Huh. Does it look heavily guarded, this building?
Yeah, there's actually security out front. There's a lot of security, and there is, it looks like not a place you'd want to mess with. Kind of a lot of security for just an office building.
I'll just scout out the perimeter of the building, like just check out what kind of shit and
Okay, roll me a wits plus composure, and then roll me a dex plus stealth.
is it a perception check?
Yeah, wits plus composure.
Okay. Are we doing 10 again and stuff like that?
Yeah, what we're doing is just to prevent the dice channel from exploding. We're just doing whenever you have an 8, 9, or 10 again, it just adds
Mm-hmm.
one.
Okay.
So, you got two.
2,
You got
3,
3 hits.
4.
Are
I
you
got 4.
wait? Are you specialized?
Uh, nope.
Okay, so the 10 is just a normal hit. Then.
Okay, yeah,
So
no.
it's 1, 2 hits.
Mm-hmm.
So you get 2 hits, and you kind of scope the place out. You're being pretty stealthy with it. That was your wits plus composure, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
What's
now
the
roll
other
me
roll again?
dex and stealth.
Uh, 1. Crap.
One
So
hit.
1.
That's no. What one's really all you need in this new one.
Mm-hmm.
So you're able to kind of sneak around and not massively stealthy, but stealthy enough. You kind of keep out the place. You prevent any of the guards from seeing you, although you're not sure about security cameras.
Mm-hmm.
You look around and you can see that this place is actually pretty well guarded. There's 2 guards at each entrance, and there's 2 entrances, a front and a back. The guards look very well equipped. They're in almost what looks like SWAT gear, and they are armed with submachine guns. You
Mm-hmm.
notice that the outside of the building is very smooth, and it would be very difficult to climb.
Mm-hmm. Is the ground floor like accessible to the public?
being 1 o'clock in the morning, no.
Okay.
You
So
imagine it
after
might. You imagine it might be accessible during the day.
mhm. After scoping out the place, I'm just gonna return to my original
Okay.
thing and go to the club and just go back there like some other time just to actually check it out, like the inside in the morning,
Okay.
because that's really suspicious.
Yep. You head to the club, and Tatiana, you have gone back to your club and gone back to your business.
Yeah.
And it's at this point that you see a familiar face, a local customer, if you will, come into your club.
Okay.
Would you go ahead and describe to Mr. William what he sees when he enters your club?
Oh, I know him?
Yeah, he's a
How?
regular. He's a
Oh,
regular. He just likes to hang out. He doesn't really do anything or flirt with anyone. He just
I can
hangs out.
show you.
Go ahead.
I have pixies. I have this
Mhm.
pixie. And, oh, wait a minute again. And this is the bar. And this is another part of it. It's a pretty big club.
Mhm.
Tatiana would be sitting on this first one that I let me put it on focus there. Would be
Mhm.
sitting there because it's a bit separate from
Do you have
the
presence
the,
activated?
the main lounge. Not at the moment, because at the moment I wouldn't want the attention because I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck happened there. So I'm
Hmm.
like,
Yep. So, yep.
working on a laptop, making phone calls, things like that.
So, William, you walk in and you do see the beautiful Tatiana over in the corner there and sitting in one of the booths. But it's typically you usually just come here for the booze.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna go beeline to the bar and get some booze.
Question: Does
Mm-hmm.
the werewolf have a good hearing? I
Yes,
mean,
I can hear up to 2 miles if I wanted to.
because I would probably be talking on the phone with people about what happened, so
Mhm.
maybe he would learn that I was there.
Yeah, within a matter of moments, William, you're able to discern that she was indeed there. She talks about that and whatnot, and then Tatiana, another person walks into the bar, a familiar face.
Okay, I will go and greet her.
She greets you and she says, "Ah, Tatiana, I'm so sorry I haven't come by and talked with you yet."
Ah, that's fine. How are you feeling? Are you okay?
Oh, I'm well. It was a low caliber.
Ah, yes, but still. Hmm. How are you going to spin this?
Oh, I'll just spin that it wasn't like we were filming anything. So I'll just spin it that I was hit in the shoulder and make it look like I was bandaged for a week and they'll show it all off. Easy enough.
Um,
Ah,
do you want me to
completely
roll anything
English.
to eavesdrop on them?
Yes. As I continue the conversation, would William please roll me wit plus composure with nines and tens exploding?
Oof. I am also just for shits and giggles going to spend an essence and transform my senses into a honed senses. Because why
Okay.
not?
Okay, so that will be 2 extra dice. And so you're going to be rolling wits plus composure plus 2, and eights, nines, and tens explode again.
Oof.
So
Okay.
yeah, I will be like hooking my arm around hers and like leading her towards where I was sitting, so we
Oh
can.
yeah, yeah. You guys are talking in a
One,
secure
two,
location.
three. So is it? Do I roll it again, or is it
No,
just
it's
adds?
going to be
Okay,
one,
so I got
2, 3,
6.
4, 5, 6. Oh Jesus, yeah. So yeah,
Jesus.
you can literally hear everything that they're doing, and you're able to single it out, even though the club is kind of noisy.
Mm-hmm.
So going back to the conversation, she says, I am really sorry, dear, but like I said, I'll just make it all look like I was hurt, and they're too sympathetic anyway. And Gotham is really big, especially when someone gets shot. So we'll pass it off. Mia.
This is very concerning, though. The security was high there, and yet they were able to pass through. Don't you find
Yeah,
it suspicious?
I found that very suspicious, my dear, and I really do want to find out what is going on there. That should not have happened. I personally hired some of those police officers myself, but nonetheless, there appears to have been another player. And no, I don't think it was any member of our Invictus, or the Sanctum, or the Carthathians, and it was certainly not the Order of Dracul or the Crones. But I think we have another upstart gang leader that's managed to get a hold of some interesting tech. I think what he was able to do was he was able to scramble the police radios, which is why it took so long for everyone to get there. Because as it turns out, we had officers stationed not too far away, but apparently they didn't hear the gunshots, and apparently they didn't receive any backup calls on the radio, even though the security had called them multiple times.
I see. Have you had a head count of your security?
Yes, we lost 3.
Any suspicion on the ones that survived?
We may have had a leak somewhere, but I'll take care of it.
Because it's very interesting. That does sound like, well, not to be a conspiracy theorist here, but that does sound like an inside job.
Indeed, and this is an Invictus city, and I do apologize again for not being able to come by and approve your club, but the Invictus has been very busy recently, but I've seen no reason to disband it or to say no, and I think your business would be appreciated here. So to leave formalities out of the way, I approve, and you may do your business here as necessary as long as you keep to our rules, as you well know.
Certainly, my dear. After all, what would we be if not following our own rules?
Indeed, and I also sent out a few emails to some potential recruits that I may be able to hire for some more security. So I will be fine. Nonetheless, I really found it rude. I really did find it rude that that gentleman just shot me with no provocation whatsoever.
Well, you saw what happened to him, I assume?
Yeah, it seems that we have some interesting characters that are around us that I did not know about.
Well, we didn't even know about that fellow, and he was one of us. Just don't know what kind, I guess, but
He was on his own. He was not a part of any of our organizations, and I believe he was. What was he? I think he was Clan Meckett. I couldn't tell from there. Nonetheless, the clans themselves have no real organizations based upon our sanctums, but he was probably just a rogue, from the sounds of it.
hmm.
Nonetheless, I would be careful about that one. And she looks over to William and kind of gives Tatiana a little head turn. She says, I would watch out for that one.
Hmm.
I've been watching him. He's an interesting fellow. He might be an ally.
Tell.
He might be an ally, but he's a bit of a loose cannon, so to speak. You've heard about here in Gotham City how we have a little vigilante thing with the Batman and a few others.
Well, yes, it seems that this city breeds this kind
All
of.
of these, yes, a lot of these criminals get their hand on some nice tech and they think that they can be crime lords, so to speak. So we've had vigilantes, of course, pop out of the woodwork occasionally. And
Well, to be
Mr. William.
To be fair, with the police being as incompetent as they are, I don't blame them.
Agreed. Don't let the local venture of this city let you hear you saying that. Especially the ones and the members of the Invictus. They would throw a fit, my dear.
Instead of throwing fits, perhaps they should be focusing on making the police force less incompetent.
That's what I tell Jacob every day. There are competent Nosferatu that could actually run, but he is a incompetent Ventru. He is an incompetent. He is just incompetent. He is a Ventru that is incompetent, and he rules all of the police. Sooner or later, he needs to be thrown off his throne, but we'll get to that some other time.
I think this issue will solve itself eventually.
Of course. Yes, Mr. William over there is a bit of a vigilante himself, but maybe I'll let him tell you that if you ever decide to ask him.
The instant she says William, I start looking at their direction.
Yep, she turns and looks at you, William, and winks. And then looks back to Tatiana.
Yeah,
And then she
Tatiana
says-
smiles towards William, like, because he kind of gets it that he's eavesdropping at that point, because he's like being
Yep,
very
and-
obvious.
She gives you a kiss on the cheek, Tatiana, and gives you a hug. And she says, "May your hunts be ever so pleasant and ever filled with ecstasy. I'll see you again, Tatiana, but I have business to attend to tonight."
And to you as well, Catherine. You're always welcome here.
Of course. Thank you very much. And she leaves, and then as she goes to the door, William, she'll turn and look at you and just give you another wink. And she'll look at you,
Mm-hmm.
and this is where it gets a little bit creepy.
Mm-hmm.
She looks at you, and she licks her lips.
I'm just gonna glare at her.
Like she literally gives you like the look of "I want to eat you," and then she exits, and then she exits the door.
By the way, to give more info about the club, there is a albino peacock running loose in the club, as well as an albino raven perched on a perch. Well,
Mm-hmm.
and those are like in in full view of everyone. These are my personal pets.
So
The instant when she leaves, I'm going to pick up my drink, glare at Tatiana, stand up, and walk towards her.
2 security guards immediately bar your way, William. They're like, "Sorry, sir, this is a private booth."
Oh, please, Mr. William may approach.
The guards immediately stand aside.
Tatiana will stand up and walk towards William, extend her hand, not in the handshaky way, in the I'm a fucking queen way.
Palm down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mrs. Tatiana Kravchenko, nice meeting you.
I'm gonna
Let's move-
stare at her hand. Go on.
I'm going to activate Majesty.
For fuck's sake!
Okay,
Nobody
so,
disrespects me in my own club.
yeah, so his defense will not his defense, but his composure will be the defense. So you're
My
gonna
composure?
roll. Well, no, it's gonna be that's what's gonna subtract from her dice pool.
Mm-hmm.
So Tatiana, you're going to roll 4 dice.
What am I rolling? The Majesty and Presence? Is that what is that?
Yes. And after subtracting his defense, I think you're going to be rolling about 4 dice. Yeah, you're going to be rolling about 4 dice. Actually, I'm sorry. It's better than I thought. Roll 3 dice.
Fuck my life. That's
Fail.
too little.
Fail!
Why would I fail?
Come on, fail.
Stop it.
Granted, you only need 1 hit for this because you've got Majesty
Yeah.
2.
And I got
She
it.
gets it.
And it's a
Goddamn.
9 too, so.
What power are you activating again?
Give me a sec. Oh, fuck. I need to get to the page. God damn it. Okay, give me a second.
Because, well, the thing is, you rolled for so we'll say it's William, she suddenly becomes the most important thing in the room. You're not enslaved, per se. You're not, like, enthralled or, like, super entranced, but she is She is the center of attention.
Mm-hmm.
She is what is important in the room right now.
I'm gonna look at her hand and then I'm gonna lock eyes with her. Back at her hand and I'm gonna kiss it while locking eyes with her, and go. That was a very interesting conversation you were having.
I'm glad you liked it. Please have a seat.
Thank you. I am William, by the way. William
I know.
McGilvray.
Nice meeting you, William. May I call you Billy?
Please don't.
I will call you Billy. It suits you. You're so cute. She will wave the bodyguards off.
William's gonna
Bodyguard-
shake his head. Uh,
Bodyguards leave.
So interesting that you have been. I heard you have been up to some interesting shenanigans.
I wouldn't really exactly call them interesting. What you were talking about is far more interesting than what I've been doing.
Well, perhaps the two things are maybe connected.
You know that building is guarded up, guarded up really well.
Oh yes, I'm well aware.
It's at this point, William, roll me a wits plus composure.
Mhm.
Same. This time it's actually sight based, so it's just going to be tens explode again.
What's just one.
That's 0 because it's
Oh
8,
wait,
9, and
yes,
10. Yeah, because it's 8,
yeah,
9, 10,
yeah.
so that's 0. So
Damn.
you do not notice that, but she has a card on her desk that has the Wayne Industries symbol on it. However, you do not notice it.
Mhm.
As you two are talking and discussing things, we're going to move the scene back to Mr. Sigma really quick.
Mhm.
Sigma, you receive a knock on your door.
Well, caution is always needed, so in with the mask and in with the hidden gun, and he will slowly open the door after looking through the bolt hole.
You see this woman standing there. And this is the woman that you just saw get shot tonight in the news report. This is also the same woman who sent you the email. You are easily able to connect the 2 and 2 together.
Alright, then this require more extreme measures, so Sigma will take his Firex and slowly open the door enough that she can see him, but she can't see everything inside the room.
She gives a little bow. She says, "Hello, Sigma."
Greetings. How this one may assist?
Well, I did send you the email, but I was wondering if I could talk with you in person before you make your decision.
The following statement is unlogical. We are in a face-to-face conversation. What is that you seek?
Well, I really wanted you to consider my offer, and I promise I'll make it worth your while. After
This
all,
one time,
is this one good with doing security?
this one
This,
has a certain level of expertise.
indeed, and this one seems to be very good with computers as well.
What is needed?
I need a new chief of security, and I think you're the perfect position for it.
What is given in exchange?
She shakes her head. I'm sorry. Ugh, shakes her head a bit. Oh, what would you need? Of course, money is a thing, but if you would like something else, I am all ears.
This one requires protection to the inhabitants of the tower.
Ah, yes, protection. Something many seek. I can offer that.
Alright. I'm going to make a try and sense if she's lying with the. She's going to protect the inhabitants of the tower. What do I roll?
Roll me wits plus empathy, if you have any.
Fun fact, Sigma was also meant to be a butler, so it does have empathy, 2 dots of empathy.
So wits plus empathy. It's kind of an insight check, so to speak. Wow, 3 hits. Yeah, she is telling the truth. She is not lying.
This one's find the statement truthful. This one will honor his end of the bargain. This one will serve as chief of security.
I am happy to hear that. You can report tomorrow, and she gives you the address of her office building. And she says, "Be sure to arrive around nighttime. I'm not much of a day person." And with that, she literally hands you a stack, and it's literally about $1,000 just right there. And then she says, "I'll see you later, Sigma. I look forward to working with you. Oh, and do be careful on the streets. They're dangerous nowadays." And she just leaves.
This is the start of the deal with the devil. Just great.
You
Oh
hear
well.
you hear something come from your mind's ear, so to speak.
A deal with the devil can be glorious or deadly. Which will it be for you, Sigma?
There is nothing else around you. No one, no thing.
Sigma won't be too much concerned about the boys. His brother explained to him that all the Prometheans have this thing called the azotic memory. Basically, every Promethean generates a cloud of memory, and all Promethean can access it. And sometimes it can give vision or suggestion. So Sigma simply believes that he is within his new nature, and it's a defensive parameter for this encounter.
Indeed. And as we fade the scene back to William and Tatiana, Sigma, you look out the window and you can see that it is now pouring rain, almost like a monsoon. And we go back to the club with Tatiana and William talking.
Okay, so Billy, tell me, what have you
William,
been doing?
William, I've, well, that thing that you were talking about really interested me, considering that I was just there a few moments ago.
Oh, you were? Well, I was present when it happened.
Can you share the wonderful details of the moment?
That depends. What do you intend to do with that information?
To do what is necessary. He's going to smile.
Hmm. You have to be more forward with me.
He's gonna cock his head a bit. Why?
Well, I might have seen your face, but that doesn't mean I know you. I don't know what you do. I don't know what's your style. What I know is the little information I got from Catherine.
It is a necessity, you know. We all must hunt somehow.
Well, I'm not at all interested in what you do for hunting. I'm interested in your other, let's say, business? Well, I wouldn't call it business actually, but anyway, you know what I mean.
You
It's
are
at
interested.
it's at this point, William,
Mhm,
you notice something, and then Tatiana, you notice something.
mhm.
Tatiana, you notice that you're getting the feeling, you're getting that strange feeling that he's not quite human. You can't tell what he is. You have no idea, and you actually have nothing but that little sixth sense. But
Mhm.
you don't know what he is. You don't even know if he's a predator. But you're just getting this odd feeling like, something's a bit off about this guy. Probably the fact that he was able to hear you over all that distance in the club somehow.
Well, yeah,
And
I
yeah,
assumed that he's something,
yeah.
but
And
don't know what yet.
William, William,
Mhm,
you on the other hand are getting something picked up.
mhm.
You're smelling, it's really hard to smell over her awe and over her presence.
Mhm.
But now that you've been around her a little bit, you can smell death.
Mm.
To you, to her, it's not massively obvious, other than the fact that she knows you were able to hear her over all the club noise.
Mhm.
But to you, William, you know for sure that she is not human. However, your vampiric lore is shit, so you have no idea
Yeah.
what she is. You have no idea what she is, but you know that she is. She smells of death, and she's definitely not human.
I suppose you want to know what I am. Is that what you're going with?
Well, it is suspicious that you were sitting at the bar and yet you were able to know exactly of what we were talking about with Catherine.
Who knows? Maybe I bugged your seat.
Cute, but something tells me that this is not your style, not to mention that nobody has access to this seat. Apart from me.
I am simply a William. Nothing more, nothing less.
If you like Tatiana, roll me a wits plus empathy.
Uh, to see if he's lying.
Yes.
Actually, I have a specialty on my subterfuge for detecting lies.
Actually, yeah, you're right. You could roll wits and subterfuge for this.
Okay. What's my wits? My wits are shit.
Wits plus subterfuge, tens explode.
One.
One hit. Okay. William, do
Does
you
the
wish?
9 give me anything?
No, not on special. If you took the special, if you took the merit specialized specialty, so to speak, that would mean nines explode. But no, it's just a normal specialization, so it's just tens explode. Um, William, are you going to try and lie, or are you going to just
Okay, sure. Why not? What do I roll for it?
roll me wits plus deception?
Okay, wits. I have no skill in that, so just two. Wow. One.
Okay, Tatiana, it's difficult difficult to discern. It sounds like he might be lying, but it's really hard to tell. You're just not sure. He's doing a good job of keeping a neutral face.
Well. Okay, give me a second because I need to get some things together because I can't find the book. I think they removed it
It's all
from
right.
the
It's all right.
thing. And there are two things that I might do.
Go ahead and tell me what they are, and we'll go through it for time's sake.
I want to either use the courtesy, whatever it's pronounced.
Courtesy, yeah.
Yeah, or I want to use the second power of majesty.
Okay.
I don't know what to roll for that.
Why don't we do the first one since that'll be a little bit easier? William,
Mm-hmm.
it seems like each minute that you spend with this woman, you're becoming slightly more attracted to her.
God damn it. Okay.
I'm sorry.
You suck, man. It's the second time.
I'm sorry.
But William,
Mhm.
it's you did have the one failure on the thing, so her presence is still affecting you. She's still the most important thing in the room.
Mhm.
But you're not enthralled. You're not entranced. If you stay with her for another 15 or 20 minutes, though, you will be entranced.
I don't know this, right, in
Yeah,
character.
nope,
Yeah.
you have no idea.
So I'm just gonna sit here and try to like gain some information at least on what happened
Yeah,
without actually revealing too much.
So Tatiana, do you tell him about the events of what happened?
I will tell him, but not everything. I will tell him that of what was happening there, that we're there to observe that device. I will tell him that these people came and started shooting people. And I'll tell him that Batman came and saved us all. So I'm not going to tell him about the dude being a vampire. I'm not going to tell him about me making the call. I'm not gonna tell him about how Catherine was shot straight in the chest. I'll just say that she was slightly injured.
Hey
Doesn't
man,
have
I already
to
know
down.
about that because I was eavesdropping.
Either way,
Yeah,
but she
you know,
doesn't know that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I know he was eavesdropping, but I just want to see how it's going to go. I'm just bullshitting him.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so she tells you that, and William,
Mhm.
you get a text on your phone.
Mhm.
Says, "Come home soon, my dear. Sushi is made for you. Want to see you again. Dangerous things happen tonight. Please come home soon, child."
I'll put it back in my pocket and I'll look at Tatiana, uh, pick up her hand, kiss it, and tell her thank you for a good time. And I
Are
believe
you leaving already?
I'm afraid I must do so. Something has happened, let's say.
How many things are happening tonight?
Yes, it
Perhaps
is.
you'd like another drink.
Maybe some other time. Might I get a rain check on that ring?
I want to convince him to stay.
Okay, roll me manipulation plus subterfuge. William,
Why-
roll me willpower.
Damn it! Why do this, man? Why?
Actually, Tatiana, roll me manipulation plus subterfuge plus presence, and
Jesus Christ.
William just I mean plus majesty, And then William, roll me willpower.
2.
Okay, give me a second.
So 2 hits on William.
5.
Oh, holy shit.
Oh shit.
It's not 7, it's 8. So that's 1, 2, 3, actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 8.
It's 8,
It's
9s, and
8.
10s.
Okay.
So that's 3 hits. That beats William by 1. William, you kind of like she's really hot. And she's kind of the center of attention right now, and like, I mean, your mom didn't say you had to come home right away. She said there'd be dinner waiting when you got home, but you know she
Okay.
kind of seems like it'd be like,
Okay.
Woman's hot. She's hot.
Yeah. Okay, I guess I'll stay. Oh, well, if you put it that way, I guess I'll stay for another 15 minutes or 2.
Great. What would you like to drink, Sam?
White Russian.
Hmm.
Okay, so I need to describe what happens here too.
Mhm.
William, you're going to get the condition entranced,
Mm-hmm.
which means that pretty much like Presence 1, you're going to like want to do what she wants to do, but it's not like enslavement. Like it's for example, say you have a celebrity that you really like, and like
Mhm.
say you were at a fast food restaurant and they were in the back of the line and they wanted to cut to the front,
Mm-hmm.
and you'd be like, oh yeah, sure, Robert Downey Jr., you're the man,
Mhm.
something like that.
Mhm.
That's how you feel about her right now.
Mhm.
Like, if she said, hey, could you make me a latte, you'd make a latte, or
Mhm.
like, but it's not forced. You're not
Uh-huh.
forced
It's not
to do
forced.
anything from her. You just kind of want to, but even
Mhm.
then you can kind of stop. You don't have to. You can say like, eh. And if you really like want to say like no, or just like utterly leave the scene, even if
Mhm.
she's requesting not, you can spend a willpower and you can just say fuck it. You just
Okay. Mhm. William's gonna be making a lot of eye contact now with Tatiana.
Well, Tatiana, on the other hand, will try to convince him to give her a bit more information about who he is. She will try to say that, she's always looking for, competent people to employ, and from what she heard about William being, vigilant and all that,
Mhm.
he could get some really useful experience.
I'll give you some hints if you give me some hints about yourself.
Well, what hints would you like to know?
I guess this is both a hint and a question. You smell like death.
Well, perhaps I'm dead.
Mm.
Would you like to check my pulse? And she will kind of extend her neck towards him.
No, fuck it.
okay.
Why not?
I'm gonna need both of you to make a willpower save.
Okay.
Fuck.
For fuck's sake.
Get it.
2 again.
I'm gonna die. Shit, you have more dice than me. Ooh, 0.
Okay, William, you're kind of able to give it a go, but Tatiana, on the other hand, who is it getting hot in here? Or is it just me? You're, Tatiana, something about him. Like he's a fairly good-looking guy, but something about his blood is really tantalizing. You don't know what it is.
God damn it.
Like he is like really like when you expose your neck to him and you get that close, it's unbearable. You can't hold back anymore, Tatiana. You need to drink. You want to drink from him. So
Oh, shit.
Damn it.
William, she gets on you very seductively. Like she jumps onto you and she's like, on you right now.
Mhm.
And She is her eyes, her irises have gone somewhat red. And Tatiana, roll me a Dex plus brawl. Hold on a sec. Let me. William, what's your defense right now? Technically, you're grappled, so it's half. It's half your defense. What's your defense half?
Come on, it's a failure, not
3.
a botch.
So it's 3. Okay.
God damn it, man.
All right. So let's see. That's actually. It's okay, Tatiana. I will, Christine. I will give you a beat for this. So, let me check here. Okay.
Do vampire bites still feel euphoric in this universe?
Oh,
yes.
you don't even
God
know.
Not
damn it.
to mention, he's got a merit that makes it feel even better.
Oh, god damn it.
So, okay. So let's see. He's got 3. So, Christine, roll me. Since you got him grappled and it's literally point blank, roll me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5. 1, 2, 9 minus 3, 7, 6, 7, 6, 5. So roll me 5 dice with 8s, 9s, and 10s exploding.
5 dice.
5 dice. Because I subtracted your pool from his defense.
Okay.
Since you got him grappled, it's half.
Okay.
2
2 and
hits.
10 and an
So
8.
Actually,
10 and an 8,
that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So you immediately extend your fangs and bite into his neck. And William,
Uh-huh.
think of the most pleasurable moment you could imagine, whether that be sex, drinking, having fun, whatever moment you can imagine yourself at the most euphoric, at the most passionate, the most, euphoric instant that you can think of. Now I want you to multiply that times 20.
God damn it. Oh, that will never want to leave.
Well, it gets worse, believe me.
Yeah, it gets worse.
Tatiana, normally when you feed, it's the same thing. Like you feel like amazingly good, like you're eating the best meal you could. But typically you don't feel quite as euphoric as your victims due to the kiss. However, with William, this is amazing. You have never tasted anyone this good, ever. It's almost as if there's something in his blood which is just like it's driving you to utter ecstasy right now. And yeah, I won't go into actual detail. I'll let you guys use your imagination, but you both lose yourselves in ecstasy. Like literally, if I could take away, like if you could both lose consciousness at this point, you would. Like it's that powerful. And Kiss of the Succubus activates. So William, from here on out, you will have a desire to go see her.
Oh, fuck my life.
Like you won't. It's not like a blood bond. It's different. Let me describe how it is. You want to go see her. You want to come back. It's not like it's really like, just imagine it like kind of like the situation it is. Like if you had a girlfriend and, not to sound like a douche, but if you had a girlfriend and you had a really, really awesome shag, you'd want to go see her again. It's like, if you had a place like a game bar or like a place you really like to go visit, you'd want to keep going back there, right? That's what it feels like. You really want to go see this. Like in the future, you're really going to go want to see this woman. Like you will want to hang out with her. You won't necessarily want to be her friend or do anything she tells you to, unless other powers are activated. But you'll want to come back and see her. You will want to be around her.
So William is being like a lost puppy, basically.
I think he. What is this? Charmed or the? Yeah, charmed.
Yeah, he's charmed. You have the charm condition, but it's just to her.
Mm-hmm.
And So, as you two are losing yourselves in that moment,
Uh-huh.
we will go ahead and cut back to Sigma really quick, and then we'll end the scene after I get back. So, Sigma,
You're muted. What's happening?
I think he's relogging into because his sound wouldn't, come out.
yeah, it seems he's having technical difficulties. The cyborg having technical difficulties.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay,
There you go.
Sigma, coming back to you. You get ready to kind of recuperate and rest up for the night. And it's at this point one of your fellow residents comes to you and says, Sigma, you might want to come look at this.
Sigma will get up. He will, of course, take this tool of the trade, his rifle, his fire axe, and his hunting knife, and he will go.
You go towards the lobby area, and you see that there has been a display or some graffiti painted on the wall. It's a white clown face with a red smile going across it.
Sigma is feeling something that he doesn't always feel. There is this sensation that this is not right. He did what was right, and they are simply destroying what is creating. He has a purpose. They are fighting against their own purposes. This must be rectified
Indeed.
one way
And
or
with
the
the
other.
possible new job you have, that might be easier to rectify now. Nonetheless, the symbol is something familiar. You've seen it from another gang, a gang calling themselves the Jokers. And they have not really proven to be much of a hassle to you until now. Nonetheless, perhaps it's time you showed them your true purpose and why it's not good to mess with you.
Well, I have a lot of money and a lot of logic on my side. I cannot be always. I can't always be present to the tower, so I will simply arm the tower itself and train them in defense.
Okay, you do so. You go throughout the night and you start to train your fellow compatriots how to fight and how to defend yourself. For you know that in the future there will definitely be conflict that will come. And for now, we will leave Sigma's scene with him training his recruits, going briefly back to William and Tatiana's scene. William, Tatiana, you both awake, and once again, I'll leave it to your imaginations, but that
Mhm.
was something else.
Well, to be fair, it's in character for Tatiana to provide pleasure, okay? So, like, her mask is courtesan, of course. Oh, Jesus.
William is just gonna be silent for a bit because he's like a bit stunned.
Yeah, it's a bit, yeah. Probably in an ecstatic state.
Yeah.
She will definitely give him a card and tell him that they will need to continue this conversation at a more appropriate time.
Of course.
Not to mention, somehow you two lost your clothes.
The fuck?
We were in a
They
public
walk
space.
of shame.
No, that's the thing is Tatiana and William, you both were in the booth when this started. Now you're up in one of the private rooms.
Oh no.
Neither one of you knows how you got there.
Brandon, you suck.
I'm not the one doing the sucking.
Well, it's my club. I probably have a bunch of robes laying around, so I'll just wear a robe and then go about my business.
Yeah, William is also going to get dressed and get the fuck out of there.
All right. So after the nervousness of that scene, like I said, use your imagination. You both get dressed and leave and go about your respective businesses. William, you go back home, where you find a nice sushi dinner waiting for you. Of course, you living above a sushi restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And Tatiana is left with a bit disconcerting since typically she's been the one in control when that happens, but the fact that the control has been lost is a bit scary. But with that, we'll leave our players to the cold night of Gotham. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another scene in Gotham by Night.